urged DOJ and FTC to investigate WNBA's misleading practices. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. So we are here now. We are here now. And what's crazy about all of this is that, guys, this is I'm not going to come on here and say that they're going to lose, because if there was an investigation going into this team, they're not going to lose this investigation. Oh, they're going to win. Whoever is representing Caitlin.
It's happening. This is no longer just angry comments on social media. This is a real movement. Fans across the country are demanding a federal investigation into the WNBA for misleading practices, and they are not going to lose. What started with the devastating news of Caitlin Clark's season-ending injury has now exploded into a full-blown scandal that goes directly to the top, to WNBA Commissioner Cathy Engelbert. This was never just about an injury. This was about a pattern of lies, a systematic on-court assault, and a cover-up designed to protect profits, while the league's brightest star was being broken down in plain sight. They thought they could get away with it. They were wrong. Today, we expose the evidence that proves how Cathy Engelbert's WNBA didn't just fail Caitlin Clark, it destroyed her season. And now, the fans are coming for justice. It all ended with a heartbreaking announcement that confirmed our worst fears. The dream of a historic sophomore season was over. Clark, who had spent every single day fighting to get back on the court, was officially done. But the real story isn't that her body gave out. It's that she was betrayed long before that happened. For weeks, as fans spent hundreds, sometimes thousands of dollars on tickets just to get a glimpse of their hero, the Indiana Fever and the WNBA kept repeating the same lie day to day. That phrase was a calculated deception. We saw ticket prices for Fever games plummet by as much as 71% the moment Clark was officially ruled out for a game, crashing from an average of $137 down to just $80. For a matchup against the Chicago Sky, prices collapsed from $86 to a pathetic $25. This proves what this was always about: money. They needed her name on the marquee to sell those seats, even if they knew she was never going to play. And the fans, who poured their hearts and their wallets into supporting this league, were treated like fools. Their loyalty was exploited for profit, and when the truth finally came out, the trust was shattered completely.
Has worked so hard throughout this time, doing everything possible to recover and return to the court, but ultimately, time is not on our side, said Indiana Fever COO and GM Amber Cox. While we will continue working with Caitlin and provide her with every resource we have available, there is not enough time left in our season for her to safely return, and her long-term health and well-being remains our top priority. We are looking forward to having her back at full strength to start the 2026 season. Clark appeared in 13 games during the regular season, averaging 16.5 points, 8.8 assists, and 5 rebounds per game, while helping lead the team to the 2025 WNBA Commissioner's Cup.
That feeling of being used, of being lied to, is what started this firestorm. It wasn't just a simple miscommunication or wishful thinking from the organization. It was a deliberate, protracted deception, and we have the proof. This wasn't a secret kept by one or two people. This was an organizational cover-up. How do we know? Because sources inside the league have made it terrifyingly clear. For a month, they allegedly knew this was coming. While they were putting out statements about cautious optimism, while they were letting fans buy non-refundable plane tickets and book hotels, they knew. They played a game of probable questionable nonsense for 8 weeks, stringing everyone along because the truth was inconvenient for business. This wasn't about protecting Caitlin's privacy or managing public pressure. This was about keeping the money flowing until the last possible second. The whispers around the league are that this directive didn't just come from the Fever's front office. It was a strategy blessed by the league itself, by Cathy Engelbert's administration, to protect their broadcast ratings and massive ticket revenue generated by the Clark effect. This whole scandal is now the subject of a Change.org petition. demanding the Department of Justice and the Federal Trade Commission launch a full-scale investigation into the WNBA's misleading practices and deceptive trade practices. They are citing the very words the league used, day-to-day questionable, as evidence of fraud. This isn't just fan outrage anymore. This is a consumer rights issue, and it all stems from a culture of deception that starts at the very top. But the lies were only half of the betrayal. The real reason Caitlin Clark's body broke down is darker. It wasn't just the grind of a season. It was the result of a targeted physical campaign of violence that Cathy Engelbert and the WNBA allowed to happen. They watched their biggest star get assaulted on the court and did nothing. The numbers don't lie. During her rookie season, Caitlin Clark, just one player, absorbed a staggering 17% of all flagrant fouls in the entire WNBA. Think about that. She was targeted for excessive dangerous physical contact at a rate that is statistically impossible to be a coincidence. And it gets worse.
Against Breanna Stewart, she goes to the line 14 times. Asia Wilson goes to the line 13 times. And Aaliyah Boston can't play 20 minutes in a game without being on the bench in foul trouble. That's another problem that we're dealing with. But like I said, this year, it's not just Caitlin Clark. If you wear that Indiana Fever jersey, consider it done. The refs are not going to be fair, and they are going to cheat and do whatever it takes to do what the higher-ups say.
Laughing about Caitlin Clark getting assaulted, let that sink in. This wasn't just tough defense. This was a hostile work environment where opponents felt emboldened to physically harm her, knowing they would face no consequences from the league. The data shows a clear pattern, with the Chicago Sky being particularly aggressive. Players like Angel Reese were consistently at the center of these ugly non-basketball plays. Many believe this was a coordinated hazing campaign fueled by jealousy from veteran players who resented Clark's immediate stardom. They were sending a message, and the referees under the league's watch let them send it over and over again. And what happened when someone in a position of power tried to speak up? Fever coach Stephanie White criticized the officiating, demanding protection for her player, and what did Cathy Engelbert's league do? They fined her. They silenced the one person who was fighting for Clark, sending a clear message to everyone: we will not protect her, and we will punish you for demanding that we do. This is the culture that Engelbert has overseen, a culture where violence is tolerated and truth is punished. The culmination of these lies and this violence has led us here, to a moment of reckoning. The fans have seen the truth, and they are no longer asking for change, they are demanding it. The call for a federal investigation is no longer a fringe idea, it's being validated by serious people. It's not just a petition. A former White House staffer, Sean McLean, has publicly called for a federal investigation into potential civil rights violations against Clark, arguing she was subjected to a hostile work environment. Even ESPN's Stephen A. Smith has publicly stated that they have a case. The walls are closing in on the WNBA. The league under Cathy Engelbert created this crisis. They profited from deception while their generational talent was being systematically broken down. They prioritized ticket sales over player safety and transparency. And in the middle of this storm of corporate greed and corruption is a 23-year-old player who just wanted to play basketball. Her own words reveal the devastating human cost of the league's failure.
Well, because Caitlin Clark fans, I want to say Fever fans, but at this point, so many of you, including myself, has lost faith in everybody involved in leadership and in management and coaching. We've just sort of, I got to tell you, I don't have any more real good things to say about the Fever organization as of now, because I will contend that they have known this was going to happen and they did not want to tell anybody.
Disappointed isn't a big enough word. That raw human pain is a direct indictment of Cathy Engelbert's leadership. Contrast Clark's heartbroken statement with the cold corporate PR spin from the Fever's GM, talking about resources and looking forward to 2026. One is the voice of a person whose dream was crushed. The other is the voice of an organization doing damage control. This is why the fans are fighting back. They are the only ones left to demand justice for Caitlin. Their outrage is the consequence of the league's actions, and their demand for Engelbert's resignation is not just a request, it's a necessity for the future of the league. The fan rebellion is gaining momentum, and the pressure on Cathy Engelbert is becoming unbearable. In fact, unverified reports have already begun to circulate on social media, claiming that the commissioner has resigned amid the mounting allegations. While we cannot confirm that yet, the very existence of these rumors shows that the movement is working. The demands for accountability are being heard at the highest level, but whether she's already gone or is about to be forced out, the fight is far from over. Her removal would only be the first step. The real question is, what happens next? Will the corrupt officiating that enabled the assault on Clark be investigated and cleaned up? Will the players who laughed about injuring her ever face consequences? And most importantly, with the door now wide open for a federal investigation, what other secrets is the WNBA hiding? The lies about Clark's injury might just be the tip of the iceberg. What will investigators find when they finally look inside one of the most protected and secretive organizations in professional sports? The one thing we know for sure is that you, the fans, have the power. You started this, and now you have to see it through.